The National Minimum Drinking Age Act of 1984 was passed on July 17th by the United States Congress. This act punished every state that allowed someone below the age of 21 to possess alcohol by lowering their state's federal highway apportionment by 10%. To quickly add, the minimum drinking age is a state law. So to begin, the reason the age to drink ever began as 21 dates all the way back to English common law. This is an age where men were able to become a knight, and it was a time when one was allowed to vote. These served as a token of huge responsibility, and since drinking should only be done by those who are mature enough to handle it, the common drinking age began at the age of 21. For part of the 20th century, the minimum drinking age was lowered to 18. So who led the Back to 21 movement? This started with an organization called Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They were fighting for a uniform national drinking age of 21 to keep alcohol out of the hands of those not mature enough. Though drinking and driving for the whole population might be down as the result of increased education on its consequences, harsher penalties, and improved enforcement or increased stigmatization of drunk driving, according to Ethan Trex, the author of Why is the Drinking Age 21, he states that traffic reports show a 62% decrease in alcohol fatalities amongst teen drivers since 1982. Another reason the drinking age has been set to 21 is because teens of age 18 are not at an age where they can handle alcohol responsibility and thus more likely harm or kill themselves. In an article titled, "Should the Drinking Age Be Lowered?" a bar graph shows that 77% of Americans are opposed to lowering the drinking age to 18 nationwide, which was polled from July 12th to 15th, 2007. Another reason the drinking age should be 21 is because lowering the drinking age would be medically irresponsible. Alcohol consumption can interfere with the adult's brain frontal lobes, which is essential for emotional regulation, organization, and planning. At a younger age, there is a higher risk for addiction, risk-taking, and reduced decision-making ability. By abusing alcohol at a young age and making the wrong decisions, it can result in memory loss, depression, violence, and suicide is greater. Lowering the drinking age from age 21 to 18 will irresponsibly allow a greater segment of the population to drink alcohol in bars and nightclubs, which are not safe environments. 76% of bars have sold alcohol to obviously intoxicated patrons, and about half of drivers arrested for driving while intoxicated or killed as alcohol-involved drivers in traffic crashes did their drinking at licensed establishments. It is also true that neighborhoods with higher densities of bars, nightclubs, and other alcohol-selling locations suffer more frequent assaults and other violent crimes. Also, most European countries have a lower drinking age, but we should not lower our standards. The drinking age of 21 should not be lowered to mirror European drinking age limits because the rate of drinking amongst U.S. teenagers is lower than most European countries. U.S. teenagers show equal or lower rates of intoxication or binge drinking than do adolescents of most European countries, and most European countries report higher rates of intoxication and binge drinking for the youth under age 13.
21, a number, but yet a restriction, one that has so much controversy surrounding it. I ask you, why is 21 set as a legal drinking age? What is special about this age that distinguishes a human as being differently perceptible to the alternate effects of alcohol compared to someone who is 18? What other reasons have influenced this decision of age and have not allowed for it to change? Lastly, why should the drinking age be 21 in the United States, and why not lower? I intend to show why the legal drinking age should be lowered from 21 to 18, doing so by presenting research on the psychology of and the harmful effects towards the brain and the person at different age levels, showing that the current system is not working for a multitude of reasons. Starting with the psychology of the brain at different ages, we see that working memory, planning, and organization and attention develop over time with brain maturation and with practice. The peak of your brain's growth and ability comes in around age 22 and lasts for only half a decade. Taking a look at a statistical study of gender differences and the age effect on brain atrophy measured by magnetic resonance imaging, researchers using a sample of 25 men and 39 women aged from 18 to 16 years found that a decreased level of brain atrophy is between ages 20 and 60 years old, and this age group is more likely to see significant loss. Let's take a look at the harmful effects of alcohol on the individual at different age levels. So we see that many of the individuals of private and governmentally funded studies on the alternative effects of alcohol abuse mainly come from the long-time alcohol and or drug-dependent individuals. Therefore, these studies lead to unrepresentative results because those who do not abuse the substance are left out of these results. Also, it is common for families to drink within their households and at family functions. Cultures such as the Italian, Spanish, German, French, Greek, Jewish, and Portuguese all allow underage drinking within these functions, and there is no evidence in support that these groups have brain-impaired young individuals. In addition, a nationwide federally funded conducted research of over 6,200 teenagers in 242 communities across the United States implies that youths who drink among family members are less likely to consume or abuse alcohol than those who don't. Drinking alcohol with parents may teach them responsible drinking habits or extinguish some of those novelty or excitement of drinking, according to senior researcher Dr. Christy Long Foley of School of Medicine at Wake Forest University. Dr. Foley describes drinking with parents as proactive behavior. More specifically, there is no solid evidence that moderate consumption of alcohol of persons under 21 causes serious or long-term brain damage. Many of the studies that have been conducted in the past 30 years only review the overconsumption of alcohol of persons under 21. So therefore, these studies are not representative of the population because they do not represent all levels of alcohol consumption on the brain of the 20-year-old and younger. Now that we understand why brain function and the harmful effects of alcohol are no different between the age levels from 18 to 21, let us understand why the current system is failing. So youths are drinking behind closed doors and are pre-gaming before attending events where they cannot publicly consume alcohol. The fact that students across the United States for a variety of events such as parties, concerts, are concealing their consumption, it is more likely for the youth to overdose and not seek proper medical attention. Congress passed the National Minimum Drinking Age Act in 1984, allowing the federal government to impose a penalty of 10% of a state's highway appropriation on any state that sets its drinking age lower than 21. It is interesting that the United States considers the adult age to be 18, and those individuals are able to vote, sign contracts, obtain credit cards, enlist in the military, serve on a jury, but cannot have a beer. This has led to an increase in the use of fake IDs and allows students to make unethical decisions in order to compromise with this harsh speculation. Mothers Against Drunk Driving strongly oppose lowering the drinking age. They strongly believe that if the drinking age is lowered, it will lead to higher rates of drunk driving fatalities. They also said that if the drinking age being set at 21 is one of the most research-based laws ever, even claiming that the results of all studies on the topic are all the same and in favor of keeping the current age. No study has proven a cause and effect relationship between heightened drinking age and reduced drunk driving deaths. And since similar reductions have occurred in Canada and other countries with lower minimum ages, the drop in fatalities is probably more due to things like public awareness and lowering the BAC limit than the drinking age. The Students for Sensible Drug Policy support the belief of a revision of federal drinking. They believe in educating students on how to drink responsibly, and also that if the age were lower, there would be less risk-taking behavior associated with alcohol among this age group. They completely believe that, and their mission statement is, Students for Sensible Drug Policy is the only international network of students dedicated to ending a war on drugs. And now that we see, in conclusion, the legal drinking age should be reduced from 21 in the United States, because many of the nationally recognized studies are unrepresentative of the youthful population. Due to the psychology of the brain having slight differences from 18 to 21, the slim difference in the harmful effects of the same age group, and most importantly, because the current system of the United States concerning the federal drinking age laws is failing, I believe that the drinking age should be lowered from 21 to 18.
Lowering the national drinking age of 21 to 18 would give high schoolers and even middle schoolers easier access to alcohol. Newly legal drinkers often purchase alcohol for their underage peers, creating a trickle-down effect. Surveys show that the most common source of alcohol amongst 18 to 20-year-olds is their 21 to 24-year-old peers. The national drinking age of age 21 exerts valuable social pressure on potential underage drinkers and those who may serve them. Youth may choose not to drink or to drink less often because of decreased social acceptability and increased risks from parental or legal authorities. Older youth and adults may furnish alcoholic beverages to minors less frequently, and licensed alcohol outlets may sell to minors less frequently because of their perceptions that it is illegal, morally wrong, or because they might get caught. These laws also reduce the number of underage drinkers. The percentage of underage drinkers has decreased since 1984, when most 21 laws came into effect. Studies indicate that when the drinking age is 21, those who are younger than 21 drink less and continue to drink less through their early 20s, and that youth who do not drink until they're 21 tend to drink less than adults. The right to drink should have a higher age of initiation because of the dangers posed by drinking. Many rights in the United States are discussed on citizens at age 21 or older. A person cannot legally purchase a handgun, gamble in a casino in most states, or adopt a child until 21. They can't rent a car until they're age 25 for most companies, or even run for president at age 35. Drinking should be similarly restricted due to the responsibility required to self and others.